Did this ISBN expire? Do I need to get a new one? Hi, I'm MK Williams. I'm an author and independent publisher. I love sharing my insights about all things self-publishing with you. Before I get started on today's topic, please be sure to click the subscribe button below. That way you can be here every week as I release new videos on all things self-publishing and how to make a career out of being an author. So one of the nice things about self-publishing is that you, that's right, you, have the ultimate control. And if you find a little typo in your book, you can go in and update it quickly for any future ebook or print-on-demand paperback book purchases. So makes that nice. But you may start to think, when do I need a new ISBN for all of these changes I'm making? I mean, I'm changing the book, right? The general rule of thumb that I found is that if you're changing 10% of the book or more, that's when you need a new ISBN. So if you change your overall manuscript more than 10%, it's time for a new ISBN. So a comma here, a typo there, you're totally fine. You can continue to make those edits and updates and all under the same ISBN and just update that on your platforms. Totally fine. But if you didn't do any proofreading of the book before it was first published, then you may find that after a full proofreader has gone through it, that there is more than a 10% change. So that's where you just want to be really aware of what you're doing there. If you are modifying the story in any way, you're likely going to need a new ISBN, and likely that's because you're not just changing one or two little things, you're having to remove, you're having to add to truly change the story. Again, if it's a typo on a character's name, you called them Peter the whole book, and then in one place you called them Paul. Again, that's a typo. That's totally fine. But if you're materially changing the story, you're going to need a new ISBN. And you'll probably want to pull the previous edition and release a new edition under that new ISBN. I have an entire video all about releasing a second edition, which I will link up here. If you change the cover, you probably also want a new ISBN as well. And this can be found either you're releasing a new edition, so there's a whole new cover. Maybe it's a cover for a UK audience or Canadian audience separately. I have seen where people will release different covers for different countries based on the trends that work there and the colors that work best for that audience and demographic. Get very niche. If you have a large print edition, obviously whole new ISBN, but that's just a whole different format for your book. So in the video that I posted, that again I linked to up here, my very first book, Nail Biters, I went in and I did some typo cleanup. I added content to the back to promote the sequel to that book once it was available. I was adding new content. I touched up the print cover. So in this case, I needed a new ISBN because it was a second edition. It was a whole new edition of the book. And that's why I needed the new ISBN. So chances are if you need a new ISBN for the book, you're releasing it as a new edition because of all the changes being made. I have some of the resources that I found when I was doing this research below, so you can click on those links and definitely look further into this topic. But 9 times out of 10, you're not going to need a new ISBN. Chances are, though, if you are making substantive changes, you will need the new ISBN. So I hope you found this information helpful. I definitely want to hear from you guys. Do you have other questions about ISBNs that you aren't finding elsewhere, or that are a little difficult to digest, or that you maybe need an example on what that would look like? Let me know in the comments below. I love keeping the conversation going, and you guys always give me great ideas for new videos in your comments, so I really appreciate that. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That lets YouTube know that you're finding value from this and the other videos that I put out, and can help them get those videos in front of other authors like us. Now you can get back to writing your book.